Have you checked the
Well,
clip? Have you checked
I
the
have
trailer?
checked the clip. There is a slight chance of him nearly saying something to join our man at the movies who's fresh out of the swimming pool. Yeah.
Well, a pool of some sort. There's no doubt about that. Hey, look, I know
Yeah,
you're mocking, but
I
just
know.
like last week,
Yeah.
just when we're about to go on the radio and the office is nice and bright, the sun has suddenly started shining here in Bundoran, and I've had to pull over the curtains. Feels like a sin. But yes, we're back again this week. And, last week I said on the radio, I thought it was maybe the best week because we
Mhm.
so many movies and so many movies that I really liked. On the program. Whereas this week, it don't worry, it's not that it's bad, but really we've just one movie dominating, and I think that's why last week we had so many movies because they were trying to avoid this humongous juggernaut of a movie. There's no real, this. We've had loads of superhero movies, but they've been holding off on Marvel movies for a while because last year they didn't do great, and there was kind of a kind of thought of superhero fatigue about it. But when the trailer for this movie dropped, it was
Mm.
huge. I don't know how many billion views it got, and now we're
Wow.
finally at it. So we've got it's Deadpool 3, but it's known as Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, here's the
Yes.
thing, Shamey. We've
Well,
had this conversation before.
we've had many of them.
Have you checked the
Well,
clip? Have you checked
I
the
have
trailer?
checked the clip. There is a slight chance of him nearly saying something, but it is cut out.
Well, no more than
It
ourselves, so we
passed
can say,
me anyway.
okay,
And yeah,
I,
we,
I
we,
have
we
I have faith in you. Nobody else might. I have faith in you. Let's roll the clip.
I know I turn everything into a joke, but I care. Or I want to use that for something important. I waited a long time for this team up.
Well,
that's the best I could do, right? Best
yeah,
I could
you
do.
did well. Well,
I went
I
through
thought
all the other clips. I was up half the night with clips, and I went, "My God, I can't use that. Can't use that." But I did find that bit.
you
It's only
did that, and
30 seconds.
we got a bit of the Madonna song, which I think there's a whole generations of kids going to be mad into like a bird because it is a banger, absolutely, and they probably don't know it. So
Yeah.
here's the thing. With this movie, I watched this movie the other morning, and then we had a special staff screening as well. So, got a good bit of feedback on it. This is it's for nerds. It's for Marvel nerds. It's for people who really like superhero movies. And also the people who really like superhero movies and probably got a bit sick of them because it's like a 2 hour Mickey take of all the superhero movies. Except because it's a massive movie, instead of having some guy being a parody of the superheroes, the real, inverted commas, superheroes are in it, taking the Mickey of themselves. And the thing is, Deadpool, played by Ryan Reynolds, who's a very likable screen presence. Anybody who watches Welcome to Wrexham or so is kind of really plays himself, different versions of himself
Yeah.
on the screen, and he's traveling through all gathering all these superheroes together, and he grabs Wolverine, who in the X-Men movies was everyone's favorite superhero. Anyway, Hugh Jackman said he was done, he was retired. They've brought back, and basically they just make all the comic book jokes that people have been making online over the years, but Marvel took themselves quite seriously. And it's just nonsense. And it's puerile. And as I said, it's for puerile nerds. But here's some good news for you, Seamus. I
Yes.
am a puerile nerd, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. It
I
is
knew it.
all in jokes. It is filthy, but in good fun. It's way over the top with violence, but the violence is so cartoony. It's so
Mm.
jokey. And I think that's why it's not an 18s, it's a 16s, because it's so clearly unreal. There's no real
Wait.
drama here. People who die, they die, it doesn't really matter. All of that sort of stuff, they might appear again because it's comic universe. People can be reborn. It doesn't matter. And it's just fun. Now, I will say it is 16s, which means nobody under 16. And I know there'll be parents going, well, sure, you've seen all the other ones. Fair enough. Talk to the government. That's not a cinema rule, that's a government rule.
Yeah.
But it is just nonsense. Now, equally, I have to be honest, if you don't really care for these sort of movies, I'd say you'd hate it. I'd say you'd hate it. It's like going to you know, it's like going to if you went to see the final Harry Potter movie without having seen any of the others and going, what's with the magic and stuff? Like, it is so in joke. It's in jokes within in jokes within in jokes. There's jokes about the TV shows. There's jokes about the old cartoons that I watched when I was a kid, and I'm an owl fella. So it's all aimed at a specific audience. Now, it's a huge audience, but it's a specific audience. And I know people from sort of the ages of 16 to well in their 30s are going to love this. People are going to see it 3 or 4 times. They're absolutely going to love it. And there's some people who are going to be dragged along by a partner or something who are going to sit there with a face on them like thunder going, I can't believe. Sometimes, I know the cinema people won't like me saying this. Sometimes it's okay to do things separate as a couple and say, she hates it or he hates it. Let's leave them there. Go and enjoy yourself. Bring your other friend, because it is for the fans and it is for people who love superhero movies. And unfortunately, part of the target audience, you know, when Collie was 13, this would have been the movie I would have been pasting on a mustache or something to try and sneak into it, because
they're going to be sneaking in, Collie. They're going to be sneaking in. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, I'm saying nothing there.
No,
but,
no, I know
but
that well.
But it is, you know, because it is all that appeal. It is immature and fun and spectacular, and they've thrown a load of money at it. And I would say, one thing I would say, and now a lot of people listening to us probably know this, really the less you know about it, because there are, I think people would know, there are cameos and surprises, surprise appearances and things like that, and lots of in-jokes. And the less you know, the funnier they are. If you know who turns up, the kind of joke is already done. The joke is in seeing it there. And I saw it early and I knew nothing about it, and it really made me laugh out loud. So it's really good fun. It is exactly what it says on the tin. People who are so excited about this will not be disappointed. And people who are dreading it, well, they won't be disappointed either.
They'll still be dreading it.
Yeah.
Tell me, Deadpool and Wolverine opens.
It opened last night.
Last night. You had a
midnight showing last night. It was the first time there's been a midnight showing since James Bond, which shows you what a big anticipation. And it's showing all day, everywhere, like all the time. It's going to be around for the next couple of months for ages. And it's going to be really, really popular. And you're also going to read stinker reviews from posh people like myself.
Okay, right. We've got Harold and the Purple Crane. Now, this looks really good. Yeah, I've just seen some of the ads. Really good.
Yeah, complete opposite. You can definitely bring all the family to this. And this is a guy called Zachary Levi, who's also in the Shazam movies. And some people might know him from Mrs. Maisel, the TV show. And it's based on an American children's novel, which I think is very popular, but I don't think it's ever really stretched over here. It's about a guy who gets a magic crayon, and whatever he draws comes to life. And it's kind of a fantasy comedy. And now this doesn't open until Wednesday, so I've only seen the trailers that you've seen as well. But it looks very cute and funny. And that guy, he's a very good actor. But in Shazam, he played a kid in an adult's body, kind of like Big, you know? And he has a face for that. Even in Eclipse, a real innocent, even though he's a big fella, probably in his late 30s, but he's a kind of very innocent, nice.
They're from an innocent world.
Yeah, from an innocent world. And he's having fun with his crayons and thinking, what can possibly go wrong? And of course, he draws the wrong thing and everything goes wrong. And it's cute and it's funny. And it looks like, so we've had really good children's movies, but probably a lot of, especially with the summer we've had, that was a Freudian slip again. The summer we've had, probably everyone is getting to the point where they have seen Despicable Me and Inside Out. Yeah. And so to have something else for the family looks good. So from Wednesday, Harold and the Purple Crayon. And I'm going to see it on Tuesday morning. And I'll tell you all about it next week.
Okay, right. We got Mr. Monday. You're bringing back Kinds of Kindness?
Yeah, which I loved. And I just thought it was brilliant. And it's so weird. It's so weird. And I suppose a bit like Deadpool, you're talking about the crowd who like it will really like it. No, other people will hate it. But there's not a crossover between the two, I don't think. This is bizarre and arty and sexy and frightening and scary and really creepy. But one of the reasons that we were keen to bring it back is it was only out for a short week. And I think Jesse Plemons may well win the Oscar next year. I think we might be talking, this might win him his Oscar. And it is an amazing bit of acting. And for people who really like something different, if you really want something different that you haven't seen before, this is the one. And it's only €5 on Monday.
Okay, that's Collie on Movies. Till next week, enjoy the movies.
Bye.